Hello, I'm NoMan, and I'm here to answer your questions. Okay, starting with the first question, something NoMan. Who is NoMan? Well, it's quite a contradictory question, to be fair. Who is NoMan? But me personally, I'm James, and I am a player for XLG. I'm currently competing in VCT CN. On a more personal level, I would say I am a person who loves to stand up and loves to shout at other people. And I have 3 brothers, beautiful girlfriend, so that's pretty much me. Okay, next question. Why is NoMan? Why is NoMan called NoMan? I really, really, really wish I could have thought of a good reason. Everyone, I know my brothers mock me. They said I copied it from the game No Man's Sky, and that's what everyone says, but I created this name before them, so they copied me, so I should get some money for that, maybe. But NoMan, I don't know, it used to be called No Man Drop, and then I took away the drop, and now it's NoMan. Maybe something to do with my last name, maybe. But yeah, I wish I could give you a cool reason, some cool backstory lore, but unfortunately, I'm just NoMan. So yeah. Why is NoMan so energetic on stage? Now, I have 3 other brothers, and I was the quietest one in the family all the time. So I'm pretty sure all of that pent-up energy from like 21 years of just not speaking in my family probably is all given out on stage. And I feel really fortunate to be where I am. So I don't really want to waste an opportunity by being shy and reserved. And I think it helps my teammates more than me, to be honest, because having someone like me on the stage, it kind of just like maybe shies away some of the eyes and gives them less pressure. So that's just fun. Like, it is just funny. Is NoMan a Messi fan or Ronaldo fan? I feel like even reading this question hurts me a little bit. I am first a Manchester United supporter and most definitely a Ronaldo fan. I still appreciate Messi, world class, obviously baller, but Ronaldo, he just has a place in my heart. So for me, I'd have to say I'm a Ronaldo fan. How does NoMan and XLG communicate? Well, fortunately enough, we have some incredible people on this team who can speak multiple languages. And so we do our best to try and facilitate, make sure everyone's on the same page. You'll probably see in our voice communication when Rarga dies, it's likely that we'll start speaking in Chinese, just because it's easier for Lysor, Happy Way, and Leo. But we kind of switch between English and Chinese, depends who's alive, depends what the situation is. And I think it's probably one of the most unique in VCT. So I think that's a cool reason why you should support us. Just saying. How did NoMan go pro? I think it's pretty much how everyone goes pro. You just kind of start a team for fun. Well, first you play the game for fun, and then you realize, okay, I'm just gonna play a lot of ranked, and then you get good at the video game, and then you make a friend. With some friends, you make a team. Maybe you go join an open qualifier or something like that, and then you realize, oh, actually, I'm better than all these noobs. Maybe I should try and go pro. For me, it was a bit of a different story. I was in university at the time, and I was just playing. I came back to Hong Kong for a summer break, and I got an offer by a friend. He's just like, do you want to come trial? And that's where Rare Atom NoMan came. Obviously lost to this team in Ascension, and then they thought, well, I thought if you can't beat them, join them. This is where I am now, so that's kind of how you go pro. Just kind of leech off other people. What is NoMan's first rank in ranked? So I checked this actually yesterday because we were just checking it out, and I was Immortal 2, which is not bad. Like, actually not bad for the first time. I played a lot of Counter-Strike before, and I reached Global Elite there, so I was expecting to be somewhere in that realm, but I'm pretty proud of that, Immortal 2. And I was with Jet ulti still in the game, so. What XLG need to win their first international? Oof, isn't this the golden question? Yeah, we perform regionally, we don't perform internationally. I think we just need some confidence. I think we just need to shoot heads. And I think we need to boil it down to the basics and keep it a fundamental 5v5 shooter. And if we can shoot them, we win the game. Try not to overcome, there's constantly like an experience argument to be made that we're constantly playing the G2s and the NRGs who have that experience. But at this point in time, all of our players have plenty of international experience to compete. So for me, I would say we need another opportunity to show, which we will have now. Now we're in London. Is NoMan related to nobody or somebody? Maybe, there's potential. Never say never. If we go all the way back, there's potential. Probably more related to nobody than somebody. But I don't know. All three of us are extremely handsome, so I wouldn't say never. How did NoMan first get into Valorant? I think it was back in 2020, COVID times. Pretty much everyone was just online. I was in a mixture between Counter-Strike and Rust. Those are kind of the two games I was playing. And then Project A, this new cool game got announced. And I just thought I was interested. And so you obviously play the beta, you play everything you can, watch a lot of videos, and you're like, wow, this game could be something. But I think at the bare minimum, it's just how I first got into it was just playing with friends. You always play the new game, whatever it is. And so that's how I first got into it, and I'm extremely grateful I did. Who is NoMan's favorite player? Now, I've been asked this a few times, and I'm not entirely sure. I would genuinely put Happyway in that bracket because watching this guy is like watching an aimbot or something. I don't know. But I would say because of the person I am, I would relate more to maybe Boaster or Zelsis. These players who are like just extremely free on stage. And I think that's what I try to aspire to be. So aside from the in-game mechanics, the type of people I want to say are my favorite people are these type of people. So yeah. What does NoMan, think of Zelsis. What a segue. Elite is what I would say. Probably underrated, I want to say, because people don't actually realize that you can't just be a stand-up merchant. You can't just be a joke merchant. You have to be actually good at the game to be competing at VCT. So I'd say underrated and super good vibes merchant. What does NoMan eat in China every day? Famously, I eat chao fan every day. I'm a sucker for fried rice. I will say when I was back in Hong Kong growing up, they called me cha xiao bao because I was very fat and I look like a bun. And I do love cha xiao anything. So between those two, but definitely some sort of rice. I'm a sucker for rice. Does NoMan think Valorant is in a good place right now? Yes, absolutely. I think it would be two kind of answers. The meta is one answer. And I would say I actually preferred the meta post-champs. I think a lot of teams did. And I think it was in a place where you could do anything and compete. I do think it's a better place now. They nerfed Waylay because that was my one trick. And I just realized it was busted. I will say because I'm in VCT CN, I think it's a little bit skewed. We're playing group stage and playoffs in sold out arenas. So I can't really compare it to VCT EMEA and NA and Pacific, but what I think is it's in a fantastic place right now. Last one. Oh, I'm sad to finish. Valorant and VCT CN. What is the difference between ranked and pro Valorant? Obviously, the individuals are not that different because the people who play pro Valorant are the Radiants. They are the top echelon. But I would say for the most part, it's kind of aim mechanics. That would be kind of what you see in the major difference. And probably how much people care. You'll actually see a lot of pro players aren't calling like a fake B split and then we go into an A exec and then we're going to drop this util, but I'm going to have a lurker on C. Like they don't really call this sort of stuff. So kind of tactically, I would say ranked is like a lot more just shoot heads, have fun. What is it like playing in front of a live crowd? Surreal. And every time I do, playing open qualifiers, watching the Boasters and the Zelsises play in front of sold out arenas. And so it was my dream to be able to do the same. And I'm just grateful every time I play. And I don't take that for granted. But the answer to the question is, it feels unreal. Hardest part of being a Valorant pro. It's different for everyone, but for me personally, it's the lack of time to do anything else. Prior to being a pro and prior to coming to Rare Adam and XLG, I was super into volleyball, super into football, super into a lot of sports, which I kind of had to leave on the side because I'm just kind of locked in on this adventure. And being away from family, I'm super grateful VCT CN's doing this roadshow format, but it does mean that you spend a lot of time out of the house. Which is, it's good and bad. It's cool for where I am. NoMan. What agent NoMan enjoys playing the most? I really enjoyed Skye. Skye was probably my favorite agent of all time at its peak. she had 3 flashes that basically insta-blinded you for like the whole round. For me, that was the most fun. But I'll put a mixture of some like Judge Neon, just watching Downbeat play. Like you can't not have fun playing that. And I'd say Prime Chamber meta was pretty fun. And the last question, unfortunately, how can VCT CN teams improve against international opponents? Us as a team, XLG, have thought about this a tremendous amount, just internally about how we can improve. But I think like overall, I think the experience argument is always one to make because we're 2 years behind in the game since it came out. But as of right now, I think we're coming back to the level of Prime EDG 2024. And I think this could be the year where VCT CN has one of those miracle Toronto runs as well. So for me, the biggest thing to improve is just shooting heads, as I said. To everyone that's watching and all the XLG supporters, thank you so much. 谢谢我们的粉丝，谢谢你们。